If you're looking to learn about the best audio features in Camtasia, then this is the video for you, and I will include the updates in 2025. I'm going to take you through adding background music, recording your voice, fading in, fading out. I'm going to show you how to add the narration after you've done a video. I'm going to show you also how you can increase the screen size or the channel size so that you can easily edit the channel that you're working on. And finally, I'm going to show you the update, which now means that in 2025 you can remove background noise with the AI. I am a TechSmith recommended trainer. You will see me recommended on the TechSmith site. Really hope you like the video, and as always, if you do, please like it, please share it, please comment on it, and of course join me on my new project, Screencast Guru. Let's get started. Okay, so let's start with the background audio, which is something that people always request. They want to add background audio. Just quickly, if you don't know Camtasia at all and you want to learn a little more about the overview of Camtasia, watch the video that's on the screen now, and I'll also add that to the description. That's a much better video to start with because it kind of gives you an overview. But if we're talking about background music, the first thing that we'll definitely need to do is that we'll need to make sure that we've got one additional track, and I always add the track at the bottom. Now what you can do is select all the things that are on the screen and just move them up one track, okay? And that way you've now got an empty track where you're going to add your audio. Now, if you're working with either Camtasia 25 or Camtasia 24, you will actually have some audio tracks that you can use. So all you need to do is to come over, you click on media, and then come over in your media file. You want to come over to what is this last one here, which is basically your libraries. And then you want to make sure that you choose the Camtasia 2025 library. Now, if you've got Camtasia 24 or 23, it's exactly the same, okay? Then click on the audio and you'll have here loads of different backgrounds. Now, we can actually test these backgrounds by quickly clicking on them. So if we clicked on this one, we should be able to hear the music. So we just click on it, double click. Now that's absolutely perfect. So I'm going to use that audio. So all I'm going to do now is drag that audio and lay it down on the final track. Okay. Now you can see that the audio is too long. My video is only up until here and the audio carries on. Now perhaps I don't want the audio to carry on. So what I'm going to do is move my playhead right to the end of the video. Just click on that final track and I'm going to cut it and then I'm going to delete that. Now there's going to cause a problem, and that problem is now that though the music will probably start nice and softly, so if we play it from the beginning. If you're looking to learn about them, we've got a couple of problems, haven't we? First of all, it's too loud, so we're going to need to reduce the level of the audio. But also, if you come to the end of that audio track, it's going to finish very abruptly. What we actually want to do is for that to soften out. So that's what I'm now going to show you. Okay, so we've got our audio file, our background file on the screen now on one of the tracks. And what we need to do is to reduce the volume because at the moment it's too loud for the voice. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And I'm also going to show you how to fade the music out at the end of the video. Really hope you're liking the video, and don't forget, if you are, please press the like button. Let's carry on. Now a really handy trick here is that you can actually expand the track. So if I just pull that track up a minute, you can see now I can make that track a lot bigger. I'm just holding my mouse down and dragging up the track. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that audio file and I'm going to reduce it right down. I don't want it at 100% because otherwise it's going to drown the sound of my voice. I'm going to put it right down actually. I just want it as soft background music, and that means probably about 8%, 6%. Now let's see now, and what we can do is again hold our mouse down and just reduce that track back down again now that we've done that editing. Okay, let's now play this from the beginning and just see if it works with my voice in the introduction. If you're looking to learn about the best audio features, that's perfect. So I've got nice background music now, which kind of doesn't drown out my voice. One next thing that we need to do though is that we need to now fade out the music at the end, because the music doesn't fade. It's going to kind of end abruptly because if you remember, we cut it. So what we want to do is at the end there, we want to fade the music. Now we have an absolutely brilliant feature. If we come over to the left hand side here, and we've got all this kind of menu system with different aspects of Camtasia, and click on more, and the one that we're looking for is audio effects. And the one that I want you to drag on to the end of the audio file is this fade out, and that actually fades the audio out, and I'm just going to drop that on, okay, and that will fade it so that it doesn't end abruptly but rather it fades. Now if we just drag out just for a minute the audio file right up, you'll probably just see that there's like a little audio, it's basically called an audio point, and it's basically from that point that the music will start fading. Sometimes it's a bit too long and you might want to drag it out a little bit and kind of only fade the music in the last few seconds. Okay, it's just a little tip. And again, I would suggest once you've made the track a bit wider, you pull it back again. So that's another tip. Now what I want to look at now is how we can add narration. Okay, so we're now going to look at the narration. Now we know that we can record while we're making the video, or what we can also do is record and then add the narration after, which is what a lot of people like. So I'm going to show you both ways. By the way, if you like this kind of webcam effect that I'm using at the moment, I'm actually using a feature in Camtasia called Camtasia Rev. And if you want to know about that, I'll put a video on the screen now and you can watch that. But let's look now at narration. Now, the obvious thing to do is that when you record in Camtasia, when you click on the record button to open up the Camtasia recorder, what you're going to do is you're going to, let me just click on that, is that you're going to, and you can now see me on the screen because I've got my webcam on, I'm going to turn that off, but you would turn on your audio. Okay, so that it's going to record and turn on the screen capture. So it's going to record both the screen and the audio. Now, another thing that you can do, which is very clever, is that you can also click on system audio. Now, not all screen capture technologies have system audio. System audio basically means that if the computer is playing any sounds, it will not only record your voice, but it will also record your or any of the audio that's playing from the computer. Now, another way of working is to turn off the audio and to record your screen capture and then add narration after. And there are lots of times when you want to do this. You might want to do it when you're doing a screen capture because you'd rather talk afterwards, but you might have a picture that you want to talk over or some video that you've brought into the system and you want to talk over the top of it. So we're going to look now then at how you add the narration. So let's say, for example, that I've got this image on the screen of my basic sort of logo or background image. And what I want to do now is I want to add the narration. So what I do is I come over down to the left here and click on more. The one this time you want is voice narration. And then make sure that you've got your right microphone connected. I use this quite a lot. If I remember talking over a picture or talking over some video footage that I'm bringing in that hasn't got any sound, and then I can click on this button here and just start to record myself. Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Screencast Guru. Let me stop it. And I just save that file if I'm happy with it. And there it comes straight in. Now I can edit it. So if we just come in a bit closer here, you'll notice that it takes a few seconds to start. So what I can do is just use this and cut out the first part of the audio. So I'm just going to basically what we call ripple delete. In fact, I can do this either way. So let me think which is going to be the quickest way. Now let's just make it absolutely clear to you what I'm doing. Let me just do that a slightly different way, okay? What I'd probably do is, hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Screencast Guru. So narration is really, really useful. And another time that I use narration is if I've made a mistake and I cut out a bit of the audio and then I add in the narration to cover the mistake that I've made. Okay, don't forget to like the video because it really helps me. We're going to move on now to look at the audio AI feature. That is the background removal. So if you've got an audio file that you've recorded and there's a lot of background noise, this will reduce it. And in fact, in the example I'm going to show you today, it's very, very impressive. One final thing, in Camtasia, there are lots of free assets that you can use to make your videos. more interesting. And a lot of people don't realize that these assets are available for free in Camtasia. So if you want to learn about the assets, I'll put a video on the screen now that you can watch all about the assets. But we're going to finish now with this superb AI feature introduced in Camtasia 2025. Now, the last feature that we're going to look at then is the 2025 update. I'm going to start by just playing you a bit of audio where I've got a lot of background noise which is interfering with the voiceover. The problem with this recording is that there's a lot of background noise. Okay, so you can hear almost in the background there, it actually sounds like someone's using some gardening tools or something. So what I'm going to do now is come down on the left hand side here, click on more, and I should hopefully have something called audio effects, which we've already looked at, but the one that we're going to look at now is the AI, and we're going to drop that onto that audio file, and I'm hoping that the quality is going to be a lot better. Let's play it back then and see if it has improved it. The problem with this recording is that there's a lot of background noise. That is absolutely unbelievable. Now, I want to be clear. I have tried it a few times and it hasn't worked quite as well. It does depend a lot on the noise in the background and how it kind of links to the audio as well. But you know, I have used this several times when it's really done a good job, and it's done an excellent job there. Something for me very interesting, because I live in a very rural area and often there are tractors and machinery in the background, and this has really helped me to improve the quality of my audio. Often in the past I've had to stop recording because of the background noise, and so this AI technology has really helped. Okay, really hope you liked that video, and as I said before, please come over to teachertrainingvideos.com. There is a whole section on using Camtasia. Remember, I am actually a TechSmith Camtasia recommended trainer, and remember, you can contact me if you would like some training either with you as an individual or with your organization and however members. I do run online training, and I do even run sometimes face-to-face training depending on the country. Finally, if you're interested in building up a YouTube channel, because that's what I use predominantly, I use Camtasia for, that is to build up my YouTube channel and make videos on my YouTube channel. And as you can probably see, if you visit teachertrainingvideos.com YouTube channel, I've got more than 80,000 subscribers. How did I do that? I do run a course. You can put your name on the waiting list. You can see it on the front page there. You can sign up, and then the next time that I'm running that course, I'll let you know. It's a course where basically in 2 hours I explain everything. So it's not a long course, it's a webinar where I go through the whole process. I tell you exactly everything that you need to know, and it's going to save you hours and hours and hours of study. That's how I learn, watching many videos on YouTube and doing various courses. I literally summarize everything so you know what I did to get to 80,000 subscribers. I'm going to leave some more videos on the screen now that you might find interesting, and thank you very much.